Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Eat Vegas, your guide to the good, the bad, and the delicious. Today, it's a trip back in time as we review a beloved spot which first opened in 1979. Remember that era? Star Wars was king, Happy Days ruled television, and the Bee Gees dominated the music scene. From day one, they've been serving up hearty comfort food. It's a kind of place where time slows down and every bite reminds you of home. No flashy gimmicks, no trendy nonsense, just honest to goodness, from scratch cooking made with skill, care, and a whole lot of love. Stepping inside feels like walking into grandma's kitchen, where the coffee's always fresh and the portions are as generous as the hospitality is warm. For many years, I didn't set foot within because I'm not a fan of the dish that's part of this restaurant's name. And what a mistake on my part. The Omelet House is far from a one-note Johnny omelet experience. Thinking this restaurant is simply an omelet place is akin to thinking Mozart simply composed a few piano pieces. The menu offers everything from oversized burgers to crispy zucchini sticks to pancakes, waffles, country fried steak. You name the comfort food, and they probably serve one of the best versions you've ever tasted. Well, we have a lot of food to cover as we made 2 visits, so let's get started. One bite of this homemade banana bread instantly takes me back to my grandmother's kitchen, when her made-from-scratch baking filled the house with irresistible aromas. This version is truly special, rich with fresh, ripe bananas, sweet but not overpoweringly so, and dense, yet incredibly light. You can taste the real butter and, more importantly, the love that goes into every slice. The pumpkin bread, on the other hand, is like autumn captured in a loaf. Warm spices mingle with deep pumpkin flavor, making it a treat that deserves to be enjoyed year-round, not just when the leaves start to turn. Both breads arrive with butter as a perfect complement. They're served alongside every breakfast plate as your bread option, so if you're tempted by toast or an English muffin, do yourself a favor, go for the banana or pumpkin bread instead. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. I've eaten my fair share of country fried steak, but this one might just be the best of them all. Let's start with the steak. Perfectly seasoned, fork tender, and impossibly fresh. Not a hint of blandness, no need for a salt shaker, and for once, the thought of hot sauce never crossed my mind or the table. That's when you know a dish is something special. This is comfort food at its finest. My mother, one of the greatest cooks I've ever known, used to say, "Looks are irrelevant, it only counts if it tastes good." And this tastes amazing. Every bite hits with deep, savory umami, wrapped in a golden crust that doesn't just crunch, it shatters. Yet somehow, it's grease-free. It's magic. Then there's the gravy. Let me just say, it might be the best gravy in Las Vegas. Thick, hearty, packed with crumbles of sausage, rich with porky depth, and finished with just enough black pepper to give it a little bit of kick. In a city quietly competing for the comfort food crown, that's no small claim. The spuds deserve their own standing ovation. A glorious cross between cottage fries and potato chips. My mom used to make these when I was a kid, and I've spent years trying to replicate them. And now, here they are, crispy, salty, and exactly as I remember. The eggs, scrambled, fluffy, and just as I ordered them. They're like golden sunshine on the plate, exactly what you'd expect from a place called the Omelet House. This isn't just breakfast, it's a nostalgia-soaked, flavor-packed masterpiece. From the very first bite, this burger came out swinging, possibly the best I've had in Las Vegas. It's built on a foundation of freshly ground beef, expertly seasoned with a bold hit of salt and pepper, and cooked exactly to order. I asked for mine rare, and they nailed it. Of course, as always, order it however you like, and they'll gladly oblige. I added a little mustard and got down to business. This burger isn't just food, it's history on a bun. The American cheeseburger has been a symbol of comfort and indulgence since the 1920s, when a short-order cook decided to throw a slice of cheese on a sizzling beef patty, changing the game forever. Here, it's done justice. Crisp, smoky bacon, melty American cheese, and fresh lettuce and tomatoes served on the side, so you can build it your way. As I previously noted, the potatoes, outstanding. But one side note, A possible alternate option is to substitute the potatoes for a bowl of soup. For review purposes, I asked for a sample. As with everything here, it's made from scratch, and let me tell you, this isn't some bland, mass-produced afterthought. It's pure joy in a bowl. Deep, rich, and hearty, tasting just like something simmered for hours in a home kitchen. The broth, made from real slow-cooked chickens, carries layers of flavor. And the noodles, perfectly toothsome. Not mushy, not limp, just right. You're gonna love this soup. Eggs Benedict has been stealing hearts since the late 1800s, when a hungover Wall Street broker supposedly walked into the Waldorf Hotel and unknowingly changed brunch forever. Now, imagine this classic, but Vegas style, elevated with sweet, briny lobster and an irresistible hollandaise sauce. 2 perfectly poached eggs sit atop generous chunks of lobster, their silky yolks cascading over the rich, buttery hollandaise. And let's talk about this sauce. Made from scratch, velvety smooth, and seasoned to perfection. It's the kind of hollandaise that deserves its own spotlight. Now, I've lived in LA my entire adult life, and I'm still blown away by how much fresher Vegas seafood is. Just look at these massive lobster pieces. This dish is indulgent, luxurious, and worth every penny. If I can sweet talk my server into bringing another side of hollandaise, I'm going to try to smuggle it out of here. Finally, once again, these crispy golden spuds, absolute perfection. This dish is tremendous. Pastrami lovers rejoice. This one's for you. Not only Instagram worthy, but utterly delectable. We're talking about a mountain of fresh sliced deli-style pastrami piled high on your choice of buttery grilled marble rye or classic French bread. The meat is slow cured, perfectly seasoned, and so tender it practically melts in your mouth. Add a side of crisp, briny pickles for a tangy contrast, just like the old school New York delis intended. Want to take it up a notch? Smother it in melted jack cheese for just $1.29 more, or slather on your choice of spicy mustard or creamy Thousand Island dressing. And of course, it comes with a side of those incredible golden spuds, because, well, what's a sandwich without something crispy on the side? A little history lesson while you're drooling. Pastrami, a staple of American delis, traces its roots to Romania, where it was first made from goose or beef, cured with garlic and spices, and then smoked for extra flavor. It arrived in the US with Jewish immigrants in the late 19th century, quickly becoming a delicacy in the delis of New York City. Now, it's a legend in the sandwich world. In this version, it does its lineage proud. A must-try for sure. One bite has me wondering, where have you been all my life? These fried zucchini are next-level crispy, wrapped in a golden, crackly batter that's downright addictive. The seasoning? Spot on. Because everything here, they get just right. The zucchini comes with a side of cool, creamy ranch or a luscious molten cheese sauce. But let's be real, they don't need a thing, just your undivided attention. These aren't the generic, frozen kind from a grocery store, they're the real deal. Reminding me of the homemade Italian-style zucchini my mom used to fry up when I was a kid. I can't help but imagine how incredible they'd be dunked in a little marinara. But honestly, as I said, they don't need a thing. They're that good. Pancakes simply aren't the type of food to win a beauty contest. Laying there, staring back at you, but we all know it's the texture and flavor that win us over with this dish. For a few years, I used to whip up a batch of pancakes every day when I got back from middle school. When you do this for weeks on end, you don't need to measure out the ingredients anymore. You can just tell when the batter is the proper consistency and will produce pancakes with perfect texture. Well, yet again, Omelette House nails it. These are pancakes the way they were meant to be. Classic, comforting, and made with real buttermilk. Perfect, light, fluffy texture, and of course, buttery. They arrive hot off the griddle, ready to soak up every drop. And of course, the rich, warm maple syrup just adds to the whole experience. One forkful, and you'll remember why simple things done right are always the best. According to YouTube, only 20% of those watching right now are subscribed. Subscribing is free, and it greatly helps this channel grow and to allow us to bring you more reviews. So please take a moment to subscribe, become a member, or buy us a cup of coffee using the link below. We'd really appreciate it. Well, we're back for day 2 and decided to begin with the ultimate comfort food, soups. First, a ham and white bean soup. It's a great homemade soup and feels like a warm hug from an old friend. If you love soup as much as I do, you're in the right place. This one takes me back to my mom's kitchen. She'd let it simmer all day, coaxing out every bit of smoky goodness from thick-cut ham and slow-cooked white beans. The carrots lend just the right touch of sweetness, while the deep, rich broth ties it all together. One spoonful, and suddenly the world feels a lot friendlier. Next, split pea soup. Supposedly there's no ham in this. Well, you could have fooled me. The flavor's so rich, so deeply savory, you'd swear there's a bone in the pot. It's just as good, maybe even better, than the ones you remember from your childhood. I have to hand it to them. For a place called the Omelet House, they sure know how to make a soup sing. The quality, the depth of flavor, every bowl impresses me. Pair it with a slice of their pumpkin or banana bread, and you've got the kind of simple, soul-warming meal that never goes out of style. The menu boasts, best you ever had. Well, that's a bold claim. If you're gonna say it, you better have the goods to back it up. I've had my fair share of corned beef hash disappointments. Hash House A-Go-Go immediately comes to mind. But this is a game changer. Forget the sad, mushy, canned stuff that haunts Vegas diners and buffets. This is corned beef hash on a whole nother level. You can see it immediately. Thick, tender chunks of house-made corned beef, not some processed, salty paste. This is the real deal. Made fresh and full of deep, briny richness. Held together with just a few potatoes and onions, the corned beef remains the star, and rightfully so. This is food worthy of kings, maybe even the gods themselves. I chose scrambled eggs, buttery and cooked just right, no extra seasoning needed. I couldn't resist taking it a step further and ordered a side of their fabulous hollandaise, a bowl of chili verde, which had massive chunks of pork, and some ranchero sauce. And this was a flavor explosion. The hollandaise was luxuriously rich, the chili verde was sensational, I could eat an entire bowl and call it a day, and the ranchero sauce added another layer of bold, zesty flavor. And the potatoes? Yet again, perfectly prepared, crisp and golden. If you come here, do yourself a favor, get some extra sauces, and have fun with your food. I'm absolutely loving this restaurant. I'm not from Philadelphia, but I was eager to try an authentic Philly cheesesteak, and so I made the pilgrimage there. And I was surprised and disappointed to find it slathered in Cheese Whiz. While that's the classic style, it's not for everyone, including me. No offense to purists, but I prefer my cheesesteak with real melty cheese, and this version absolutely delivers. The Philly cheesesteak traces its roots back to the 1930s, when Pat Olivieri, a hot dog vendor, threw some beef on the grill and stuffed it into a roll. A taxi driver took one bite, raved about it, and soon the sandwich became a legend. This take on the classic is everything I'd hoped for. Thinly sliced, high-quality beef, seasoned beautifully and grilled to perfection with mushrooms, onions, and peppers, all brought to life with plenty of black pepper. Instead of processed cheese, they top it with melted jack cheese, which blankets the sizzling meat in rich, gooey goodness. The roll is fresh, buttery, and perfectly grilled, soaking up every drop of that savory beef and vegetable mixture. Mark my words, I'll be back for this again and again, and so will you. Just look at all that black pepper on these potatoes. I'm in heaven. I grew up in a family where black pepper flowed like running water, and this place takes me right back. This sandwich is pure nostalgia, a tribute to those childhood days when we'd pile Thanksgiving leftovers onto one glorious creation, leaving us all confused why just a day before we insisted on them remaining apart. The stuffing is homemade and downright delicious. The turkey, fantastic quality, moist, flavorful, and just what you want in a sandwich like this. And then there's the cranberry sauce, adding that perfect touch of sweet tart brightness that ties everything together. This isn't just a sandwich, it's a warm, comforting trip down memory lane. Every bite conjures up the best parts of the holiday season, wrapped in one absolutely delicious treat. You don't just eat this, you experience it. And trust me, this is not one to be missed. Oh, Patti Page, whoever you are, where have you been all my life? A full half-pound of fresh, perfectly seasoned beef, dripping with American and Jack cheese, piled high with a mountain of grilled onions, and nestled between slices of marbled rye. How could this not be incredible? Ever since I had that burger, I haven't stopped thinking about it. This patty melt comes darn close, so I had to give it a shot. And let me tell you, it's every bit as crave-worthy. Charred just right, served rare on a beautifully grilled bun, with those sweet golden caramelized onions and gloriously melty cheese. A splash of mustard, and I'm in heaven. This is flavor you don't want to miss. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill French toast. It's a breakfast masterpiece. Thick slices of rich, tender brioche take a dip in fresh, luxurious egg batter before sizzling on the griddle until golden brown. But the real magic happens inside. This beauty is generously stuffed with velvety cream cheese, adding a luscious, tangy contrast to the crispy caramelized edges. Then comes the crowning touch, a decadent filling of blueberries, slow cooked with sugar until they burst into a sweet, jammy perfection. This dish traces its roots back to the pain perdu, literally lost bread, a French invention that turned stale bread into something extraordinary. But here, nothing is lost, only gained, especially when that first bite melts in your mouth. Behold, this golden textured field of squares, with a sea of edges still reeling and charred from the hot iron. A textbook perfect Belgian waffle that's as gorgeous as it is delicious. Light as a cloud with a crisp, buttery exterior, it's everything a waffle should be. The Belgian waffle, by the way, traces its roots to the 18th century, but it wasn't until the 1964 World's Fair in New York that America fell in love with its deep pockets and airy texture. And let me tell you, this one would make any Belgian proud. The secret? A batter so perfectly balanced that it bakes up impossibly fluffy inside while achieving that golden crunch outside. Slather it with butter while it's still sizzling hot, then drown it in rich maple syrup. One bite, and suddenly you're no longer in Vegas. I've devoured waffles all over this city, from high-end brunch spots to hidden neighborhood gems. And this one, it's flawless, an edible work of art. Occasionally, we receive comments accusing us of simply being cheerleaders. Can never understand this, as I feel we're the most honest reviewers in our genre, and are more than willing to call out the substandard with a scorching comment or two. Well, today, if you say we're cheerleaders, you're absolutely correct. There's no shame in cheerleading when a place is as consistently fantastic as is the Omelette House. For these few top-notch restaurants, I'll gladly cheerlead from the rooftops every day, all day long. The Omelette House isn't just a restaurant, it's a living piece of Las Vegas history. After nearly 5 decades, it remains a place where comfort food isn't just served, it's celebrated. And there's an air of pride, from the busboys right up to the owners. Every dish here tells a story, whether it's the nostalgic sweetness of homemade banana bread, the golden crunch of perfectly fried zucchini, or the indulgent richness of a lobster-topped eggs Benedict. From the first bite to the last, each dish feels like a warm embrace, reminding you why simple, well-made food will always stand the test of time. The hospitality, the quality, and the unmistakable charm of this place make it clear why locals keep coming back. Whether you're here for a towering omelet, a burger cooked just right, or a sandwich packed with history and flavor, every dish feels like home. And in a city known for glitz and spectacle, with the latest fad around every corner, it's refreshing to find a spot that proves that Great food made with love is timeless and will always steal the show. We had a great time traveling back to the 70s, but now it's time to return home to the present. I'm greatly looking forward, though, to our next visit to the Omelette House. We've actually been back since recording our review, and I know we'll be returning again very soon, as we've already marked a date on our calendar. Maybe you'll see us there, and as always, make sure to tell them Let's Eat Vegas sent you. This would be a good time to hit the notifications bell so you get a reminder when the next review becomes available. And of course, it's always a good time to like, subscribe, comment, or share. It's free to do so, and it helps us to grow and to bring you more reviews. Until we eat again, bon appetit!